Third question I got is, do you ever recommend using tax software and do it all yourself for a small one-person company? So in their examples are using QuickBooks and then TurboTax for business. So I would say if you're running a little small shop that is maybe more of like a side hustle where it's a few $1,000s per year and you're just selling some things on Etsy or earning a few extra bucks on the side and it's not a primary source of income, then go for it, give it a stab doing it yourself. If you're building a real business, I would strongly encourage not doing it yourself and hiring a professional. And here's why. So if you're a sole proprietorship, which if you're kind of a one-man shop or one-woman shop doing it yourself and at a position where you're doing it yourself, you're gonna have probably 22%, 24% federal income tax. You might be anywhere from 6 to 9% state income tax, depending on what state you're in, maybe 0, but let's call it 6% state tax. And then you've got another 15% self-employment tax. So you've got 22, let's say, 22% federal, 6% state, that's 28 plus 15, 43% of every dollar that you miss as a deduction because not to be insulting, but because you don't know what you're doing, you're not a professional. It's like if I went to the surgeon and say, hey, can I slice myself open to take that mole out? He might look at me a little silly. So when you think about it, 43 cents of every dollar that you miss as a deduction is going to Uncle Sam and your local state. So it's expensive to do your books yourself if you aren't an expert at doing your books. And same thing with taxes. So you might do okay doing your books, but then you miss some deductions because you do your taxes wrong. I think if you're just making a couple grand a year on a side hustle, yeah, it's probably okay to do it yourself. And with technology these days, if you're an employee of a company, not an employer, I think it's actually totally acceptable to do it yourself. But if you're building a business, like a real business, even if you're a solopreneur, but it's your sole source of income, I think the costs are too high of doing it wrong to just do it yourself. So that's my feedback on that. Of course, I'm a little biased because I am a tax professional, but that is my argument as to why you shouldn't do it yourself.
Where I come from, my everyday, day-to-day is just a skate away.